fist bomb to join the club. That way you'll never miss out on a cool video. Don't forget to ring that bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Talk.
Supposedly there's 15 ounces in this can. We're gonna find out.
And is submerged in spray paint, or slightly dissolving my glove.
They are. That glove's normally form-fit.
2 more.
Poke it. Extreme way to graffiti anything as clear Christmas ornament, and I suspect that the whole thing will just end up sort of a muddy brown.
Yeah.
Maybe it will get a little bit of that, put it out, but it also sprays out with a lot of force, and maybe that would like send burning paint fly over spray paint from a couple of projects.
Just a few. When you're trying to paint with it, you get.
We have a fire extinguisher. It was still liquid, but I'm guessing it did. That is bubbling much more vigorously. Cool, with all the paint like rushing into the globe.
Not much.
And so individual tiny little bits of paint probably are boiling. See if it dries out.
Let's do it.
Stay tuned for ever. Let's see how much spray paint is. You could spray paint into a fire and it'll burn, it'll catch. However, the other box is going to show you what YouTube thinks you should be watching next. And if you aren't subscribed to our channel, hit.
Or not the can. We were looking at the bottom of the pot, and it's actually.
It's frozen. Really cool though.
It's beautiful.
With a stick.
I'm gonna poke it with a stick, a flaming stick.
Do the spraying there. It's not going to be in this video because we're not waiting 6 months.
Definitely thinner than house paint.
And yeah, it's almost soapy.
I think it's very likely that it will light on fire.
It was a brand new can of paint. Most of these will be half used, but we wanted to see exactly how much was in a brand new can. Just how much paint is actually in a spray paint can. Mix some colors together.
The fumes from, there's just so many things that we think we
At all or anything.
That's fair, that's fair.
It'd be kind of cold.
might not want to deal with right now.
We can actually get to a point where we can see this bubbling.
It?
As long as I keep my fingers moving, it's not like burning.
That's got to be the most extreme.
We were looking at the can, made the beach.
Neat.
In the middle.
Didn't really mix very well, and now as it's heating up, we've got some of that raising.
Teal is coming through. That was the teal that we sprayed in the very beginning yesterday. The inside of these ornaments are really pretty. The outsides are...
See, that box at the top is going to take you to our last video. You should go check that.
Bad.
That looks really... What we're going to do instead is we're just going to...
We know that...
Those are some really cool swirls.
That is beautiful, but it's freezing.
You're right, I think we've just lost a ton of it to the air.
Yeah.
I feel...
I don't think it liked that.
No.
This is worth of paint.
Yeah, I think...
We've got this...
We got a few gold swirls. Just a little. We might have an addiction to...
And then just try putting a board over to put it out, and if that doesn't work, then...
A can of spray paint.
That's...
6 months, and almost certainly light on fire. And so what we're light the surface of the paint, especially if it's all that fire. Now it's on high heat to just let that go and possibly light on fire.
That is slightly cool, is I would say.
How the bubbles are weird.
Which would probably, because it got so cold.
It's actually frozen.
That it was frozen all paint on top of water. Take it off of the burner, move the propane tank far away, and then see if we can just stop for the day. And we came back, and I think that paint got a lot colder.
Like 3 passes, and you're like, God, the can ran out. This can work nearly the same, or probably nearly as successfully,
I
but
suspect this whole thing, turquoise, surface stuff on it.
Flammable liquid.
We decided we...
Pretty color. This may take longer than we thought.
Mud, purplish, sparkly mud, but into this pot of spray paint. As for now, you know we've always got more for you to...
Spray paint.
I've always been curious to see a few things about spray paint. For one, how
To be clear, this is gonna try spraying it all into one pot and then turn on the heat. I wanna heat it up. I wanna boil it.
All right, that had too much flammable liquid with it being on fire. Oh, it's a very, very thin bottom steel pot. It's on fire, but without the propane tank there,
Some of the paint off of the bottom of the pot, and it's definitely warmer. I think the solvents in the paint
are surrounding a propane tank.
We're still gonna light it on fire.
We're gonna see if we can light the syrup up to the top. What we stopped at yesterday was a very green mix.
So now we're backing up.
Oh, and
That is a lot.
because I think it would look interesting. There's water running down the outside of the pot. Maybe we'll show you the dried out paint.
but I do want to see if we can get like a bubbling, rolling boil before that.
All in here, we would end up high as a kite. So we don't know and we want to.
Here's the basic
It
idea.
is in oil.
So it's thinner than regular like house paint.
Going on you.
That
Because I really do. We have a little bit of leftover.
And it's like slippery, so it kind of feels like my hand. And Callie stuck her finger into the paint and said that it's also very cold. Let's do.
Guys, that's it for today. Come back in maybe 6 months and we'll show you what's happened. Drips down here at the bottom. We sprayed in maybe.
Yeah.
There we go. However, a lot of that is the propellant itself and not necessarily the paint. Finally, we want to see what.
Me out.
Now my entire hand.
Well, I think we should take this paint and just set it somewhere.
Just
We're
leave.
gonna take the pot and the spray paint outside. And
Wait, I actually love it. It's so.
let's find out.
Pretty much there. That's a whole
Of the winter. So
mud.
it looks like when it's just sitting in a pot, like a gallon of it.
Most people know that you think it will light on fire, but then we have to deal
That's amazing.
so much. With hydro dipping, you have paint
Beautiful, but there's not much in here.
the fire extinguisher. One other thing, we are in a dome and it's pretty big, but we have a lot of spray paint. I think we sprayed it all. $400 as is appropriate and fair.
All right.
Over.
Yeah.
This much paint depressurizing actually comes out
Shiny.
Maybe 3/4 of an inch of paint before we had.
More colors. Yeah, we have got a lot of spray paint. We're
very cold. And it's cold out here anyway, so it just sort of stays cold.
Paint on top of more paint
so it's not good. Leave it.
for like 6 months and all the way around, and now we're starting to thaw it, and we've got just a few. That looks really cool.
Okay, so this is kind of gorgeous. Now the
I mean, the fumes aren't.
How much paint do you actually get out of one of these cans?
I also want to see what spray paint. It's bubbling, but there's no heat radiating off of it. The side of it's cool.
Water here, we've just got paint.
Guys, it's the beach. So we're just.
I'm rubbing.
That's a lot of boiled paint.
Which is odd.
But awesome.
Very thin.
Like when I'm painting things, I run out
That's very cold. So
in a pot. Although
as it gets cold. But yeah, the bottom of the pot has frosted over.
but the color is just
kind of all
mixed.
mixes.
Yeah. We'll be selling these.
Lit, but it's on fairly low heat. I'm hoping dries really fast.
That's about a gallon of spray paint right there. In today's video, we are going to find out.
Out of spray paint faster than this.
I
What
know,
happens if we add a little bit of heat? Does it boil? Does it just burn?
but this is not 15 ounce. I'm never gonna end. Now, Chip. And then try boiling it. And shockingly, it's a lot.
Oh, speaking of which.
That that could have been potentially disastrous. It's interesting. You can see as he's the face so much better. This is wonderful. You're so helpful.
I react cause I don't have no talent. I react, it's easy, takes no effort. I react and barely show emotion. I react, when I do I found a motive. I react cause I don't have no talent. I react, it's easy, takes no effort. I react and barely show emotion. I react, when I do I found a motive. Easy getting fame these days since you do not need any talent. People try to take me down, but too bad there ain't no repellent. Divide myself count by 10 mil, get the IQ of all my viewers. Of all my viewers who are too retarded to watch real YouTubers. My vids contain of adding a little fucking cam screen, which 10-year-olds enjoy cause they don't have their own opinion. They're stupid and my minions got me over 1 million. This is the age of YouTube, no talent equals millions. Getting paid, get paid for nothing. If you're watching this right now, just turn on your cam. All you need is a fake smile to get them views and get all this money. Thank God that the world's retarded. I react cause I don't have no talent. I react, it's easy, takes no effort. I react and barely show emotion. I react, when I do I found a motive. I react cause I don't have no talent. I react, it's easy, takes no effort. I react and barely show emotion. I react, when I do I found a motive. It's so amazing you can grow up people's content. Lazy life, I got it like this my fucking job, bitch. Resume on fleek, on your salary in 1 week, cunt. And it's not only me, cunt. No, there's 100 more cunts. Yeah, all I do is lay back, react to trending topics. Still I'm the trending topic. Then react to my own vids and get 1 million more hits. Thank the Lord I got rich by all these stupid kids. I react cause I don't have no talent. I react, it's easy, takes no effort. I react and barely show emotion. I react, when I do I found a motive. I react cause I don't have no talent. I react, it's easy, takes no effort. I react and barely show emotion. I react